Alright, so hello there and welcome to this video about the Crash Team Racing beta. This is Crash Ratchet 008 talking, but you can just call me Great, as many members of the speedrunning community call me. And I've been asked a lot to remake, I guess, this video about this CTR beta, but I wanted to do this with a more appropriate hardware, so yeah, I got myself a PSP with custom firmware so that it could run the the game properly without emulation glitches that usually occur with an emulator, of course. I could have done it on PS2, but there is actually some extra stuff that it has to be shown with the use of how can I call them, like game shark codes that we're going to use in the game with the CW cheat feature that is on PSP. So where can we start, like, talking about this? I guess we can start talking about the memory card icons. As you can see here, I have these icons which are both in the form of a crate, but you can also have as an icon the one which is shown in the description of this video, or I don't know, probably I will place it somewhere in the screen, but be sure to check the description to see what I'm talking about. And it's actually a yellow icon with a hand which shows an hand which is closed like a punch, And well, sometimes there's actually a bit of a problem with the saving data for this game. Like on emulator, I managed to actually complete all of the time trials to unlock entropy, but in this new save, I actually didn't manage to achieve this task for some reason, because there are actually many ways in which your save can be compromised, apparently, with this version of the game. I would assume it's because it's work in progress, so you're not supposed to get to, I don't know, for example, 100%, because right after I saved on emulator, after I achieved 100%, it said this something like this this saved data is obsolete or something like that, which I don't know what that could mean, but that's what I got. So I'm like stuck in this save data with only every character unlocked except Entropy, which I unlocked as I said on emulator, in the screen that you can see in the Crash Mania website, which shows the differences also in the character icons, and they're all written there. So again, check the description out to see those differences. And yeah, let's actually reset the game so we can see the very first difference, which is the different boot up screen. So there. Oh, actually cool. I can like freeze temporarily the game with this feature that allows me to stop the game for a while and actually talk over it. So yeah, the first difference is that there isn't the announcer that talks about like Sony computer and all that stuff. Second difference is that the music is different also, and I believe the animation is also faster. At least it's faster than the European version. And also there is another screen, like the one with all the text about the year of the game, which is, I believe, missing from the NTSC version. I'm not very sure. It is on the European version, on the PAL version, but it has less text. That's what I remember. And now the difference is that the game doesn't go right at the main menu or at the language selection if you're on PAL, but it rather loads the intro animation, like the intro cutscene, instead of going right to the main menu. And I believe it doesn't have any difference, but you know, because as you can see, it's on a black screen right now. The game is on a black screen and it's loading the intro scene. So let's go and watch it.
Greetings, creatures of his planet. I've come to compete. So, you pesky earthslugs like to race, eh? Well, Nitrous Oxide, I'm the fastest racer in the galaxy. I travel the stars looking for creatures to test my skills. It's a little game I call Survival of the Fastest. Here's the way we play. I challenge the best driver of your world to a race for the planet. If your driver wins, I'll leave your miserable little rock alone. But if I win, I'll turn your entire globe into a concrete parking lot and make you my slaves. Get ready to race for the fate of your planet.
Okay, so lots of sound effects missing and also some glitched polygon over the cutscene. Also here the effects are actually different. And I believe the animation is a bit faster than normal. At least, I don't know if the animation is slower or faster on NTSC, so I may be saying something wrong. I invite you to like check if what I'm saying is correct and eventually fix it by actually letting me know in the description, and I will add a note through YouTube on this video to like fix my information here. So, oh, and there's demo timer activated meanwhile. As you can notice, it's missing the loading text. It's not shown at all. Also, I don't know if this text here on demo mode is any different, because I've only seen the one on PAL version. Oh, also, yeah, whenever you press start to skip cutscenes, you can actually pause the game, which sometimes may soft lock it, like... Okay, I thought it happened now, but I just unpaused by pressing start again and it's removed the soft lock, I guess. No, it didn't. Oh yeah, so yeah, don't skip cutscenes, I believe, and let's restart the game. Yeah, this mechanic of resetting, of skipping cutscenes will allow us to have a nice little glitch on adventure mode, which will bring us actually to... Okay, I'll skip it. Which will lead us into being in, I guess, some sort of external dimension. I don't know. It's actually it will actually lead us into being outside of the map in Gemstone Valley, or I don't know the name in English, I'm sorry, but you know, the world where there is the section in which you can challenge Oxide, to be clear. And we will be like stuck there for, I guess, 15-20 seconds, and you'll see what happens when we are there. So let's load this save. There's also some differences that I have to talk about, I believe, on the character selection. Oh yeah, everything is pretty much complete here, but let's check another little difference. First of all, when you change, as you can see, the area where you are in, no text is shown about the area we are moving to. And another cool difference is this additional texture in some of the vortexes. I believe they tried to add this in all of the vortexes, but they couldn't manage to do it because of memory limits that the PS1 had, so they were just experimenting at that time, I believe. As you can see, here is missing, then on Crash Cove there is, and we're going to do this quick turn to check all of the vortexes here. This is on World 1, so to say. Here they are completely missing, I believe. Yeah. Turbo Track and the Slide Coliseum. Also in the gem challenges are missing. Then let's move on to the second hub world, where I believe only Coco Park and another track has it. Here it is, Coco Park. Papo Pyramid is missing it. I don't know if it's also in English, Papo's Pyramid. And Dingo Canyon here has it too. With Tiger Temple that misses it. Let's move on to hub number 3 here. With Blizzard Bluff missing it, then Dragon Mines with this nice texture. I don't know how to call it, I'm sorry for that. Checkered texture, I believe. That's what it's. I've seen it called around. Well, yeah, the every purple vortex is missing it apparently. Polar Pass has it as well. And then on World 4, World 4 actually has also a glitch in a texture. It's like misplaced here, as you can see. Yeah, pretty much it's just misplaced, nothing special. And I believe it's also this texture that is misplaced. I don't know if there is any other texture misplaced, maybe some glitches going on here. So yeah, they were just, I believe, cleaning up the code from any issue at this point. What has custom of the checkered texture. Also engine nuts. Don't know, maybe no track here has it here, because there were already problems with the polygons apparently. So yeah, no track on warp. Well, on Hub 4 has this checkered texture. Oh, my pronunciation is bad, I know, but I'm not like, English is not my main language, so sorry for that, and also sorry for, you know, mic quality. It may be very bad. And actually, let's start with another important difference, which is relic times. So relic times here are similar. At least every blue relic time, Sapphire relic time is identical to the release, to the final release, but every other relic time, gold and platinum, is like gold is 5 seconds less than Sapphire, and platinum is 10 seconds less than the gold time on that track. So it is 15 seconds faster, we can say, than the Sapphire time for the track that you are racing on. And that's it. For this reason then, you can actually get the platinum relic here by breaking like less than 10 boxes. Or at least I managed to do that in my previous video. Now I don't know how to get the second super shortcut. It is like here, but yeah, we have currently broken 6 boxes. I broke 7 again in my old video that I will probably remove because it's shit actually. Focusing here, I guess. Okay, didn't mean to do it, but okay. 242 and it's platinum relic. So yeah, I broke, I guess, different boxes last time when I did that video. And yeah, you can see 156, which is way faster than platinum time in this version. And of course no other time was recorded, because as you can see again, all the AI times are 9:59. I guess AI has to get good. So yeah, let's actually show another small difference, which is when you enter a boss fight, and then we show what happens when you actually exit in a certain way the Oxide challenge. I don't know how much this video is going to last, because it's already 20 minutes and I just I didn't talk about a lot of other differences. So yeah, as you can see, the screen actually freezes. You cannot just keep on going when you enter a boss challenge and like crash into the garage. The screen just freezes and it triggers the loading screen. Oh, bad start. Now we will I guess, tension is slowing down just to check Oxide's behavior in this version, because it has differences, again, like the fact that he is invincible at some point. I don't know if it's if he's invincible on lap 1. I don't remember. Yeah. I could go for the super shortcut, but again, testing purposes or testing environment. So yeah, first lap is pretty much normal with every weapon that he throws in the final version of this game being thrown also here. Also I believe he's slower, I don't know, they reached him quite... okay. Okay, well... But yeah, this is the difference. Starting from lap 2, he is actually invincible and keeps on throwing bombs. The reason for this is, I believe, that they had just started. Yeah, as you saw, he didn't like spin after being hit. The reason for this, I was saying, is probably because they had just started writing his code. So for this reason, he actually doesn't have a very perfect behavior like they wanted him to be. So he doesn't loop his weapon inventory like he does in the final version, like throwing bottles, then TNTs when he's on this side, on this part of the track. And yeah, he's also dumb enough to hit his own previous weapons, as you could see from the icon flashing in red. But again, he's invincible, so it doesn't matter a lot. And I guess that's why they made him invincible, because they knew that his behavior could have led him to crashing into his own weapons thrown on the track. And as you can see also, these old items won't disappear, but that's because again, I believe the code was not properly programmed for this review copy, because this is a review copy, you didn't know. And yeah, can continue. A small glitch there with the polygons. Every time you go to a loading screen, that happens. The screen just freezes. It's not like it keeps going, if you know what I mean. And now, when the cutscene reaches this point, not before, because if you press start before, you are soft locked, because the loading screen is not triggered, but it just freezes on that gray screen. And you could theoretically resume and watch the ending, or exit to map and have this weird thing happening. Stuck in the middle of nowhere. You're actually close to... oh, there's the loading screen, there's the door that leads to the CTR challenges, the gem challenges, and you are stuck in there. You can accelerate, you can stop, you can try everything really, and you want to move a bit. Then tires just disappear, and in a matter of seconds you get teleported to Slide Coliseum. You can also do this with the normal ending, but with the normal ending, if you don't have Slide Coliseum unlocked, it will move you to Turbo Track, and if that is locked too, it will move you again to the Oxide challenge. Alright. Well, for adventure mode, I believe this is all, pretty much. So... oh yeah, the text here is different, I believe. There's a small text here. Unless in NTSC is like this, because on PAL it has the normal text, you know? Like a normal font which is used here where there's a Gemstone Valley written, so it's written like that. And also I believe gems are in a different position, or I may be remembering wrong again. Oh well, probably there is also a difference in colors, because yeah, in the vortex they are this color. Probably the blue gem is not like light blue like this. I thought it was because of the emulator, but apparently in here the color is different as well. So let's move to arcade mode to show some differences in other tracks. Oh, actually first, difference in adventure selection mode, character selection mode for adventure. As you can see, again, no stats being shown for any character. There is a sound effect when you switch characters, and no sound effect when you select. Some camera angles, I believe, are different too. Oh yeah, they just play their animation, how can I say, backwards when they get deselected. Oh, yeah, polar sides are a bit fucked up. And yes, that's it. Oh, okay, I can actually get out of this screen. Yesterday I was trying to get out of the adventure mode, but it just soft locked by leaving Crash in that position, which was weird. So arcade. Oh yeah, actually, yeah. Let's see the complete characters roster quickly. So select cheats. I don't want this. I want number 2. Unlock all characters. And there we go. So here they are. First difference, small text is also used here. Then again the different icons. And the different placement for characters as well. Also, it's apparently impossible to unlock Penta in this version unless you use this code, which I will eventually put in the description of the video. And what else to say here? Well, yeah, the different icons for the characters are entropy, then... Okay, there should be the audio here. Then there's a slight difference in coloring, I'm leaving the Crash one. The icon is not the one from the demo, which was also different. The Tiny Tiger one is completely different. The Coco one is just slightly different too. The Polar one is different as well, completely different. The Papu one is has some different colors in the final version, and the Pinstripe one is completely different from the final version. So yeah, let's select Penta and start with Dragon Mines, because it has a difference. It has some differences in well, items on the track. Like it's missing Woompa fruits, I believe, if I remember correctly now. The first box is here, and yeah, as you can see, it's not there. Oh, we also triggered the beta audio, which is Penguin Yay one. This is also, I believe, in the NTSC version. You can hear this line of dialogue in that version too. And there is the second Woompa box, which is missing as well. So you can never trigger the 10 Woompa counted here.
Penguin Yay 2.
Penguin Yay 2. Okay, that was a bit dumb. A nice rocket crash. Okay. Okay, what happened there? I don't know. I'm having issues playing on PSP because I'm used to the PS2 controller one. Whoa. Okay then. That was unexpected. But yeah, I actually lost it. I actually lost the race because of 2 dumb errors. But anyway, let's see now. Other difference in other track is engine labs, which has some differences on a specific point of the track. I don't know how to explain it, sorry. So I will let images talk for what I have to say. I don't notice anything different here. And we're almost at that. Here, these things here are not in the final version. And yeah, that's just... I don't get why they removed them, but I guess... I guess they had problems with the polygons. Oh, I cannot do that jump? Really? Oh well.
Too?
Yeah, another.
Coming through.
Really? I was jumping. Okay. Correct. Oh yeah, the different icon, but it's not a difference in, at least for NTSC, because NTSC has the same issue, I could say, in which Penta has the mask from the bad guys, so Uka, and instead he has the Aku mask protecting him. So yeah, I believe it's because NTSC version was a bit rushed, but not rushed up to the point that it was glitchy, at least not that I know of. And also, as you may know, Penta doesn't have the OP stats that he actually... Okay, nice turn there. He doesn't have the OP stats that he has in the PAL version, which I believe he is just a bit slower than Oxide, or as fast as him, I believe. And yeah, that was the difference for engine labs. Now we head to the final track, which I saw it has differences, which is okay, let's select I don't know, entropy. Entropy has a slightly different icon. I don't know if I said it. I forgot. Yeah. It's different in color, and also his, you know, face is different. Let's start again. So yeah, here's the first difference. Wumpa box here is missing, but instead there are many Wumpa fruits in this section of the track. Some of them have also been collected. Oh, wow. Some of them have also been collected by AI. Meanwhile, so I don't know. Someone else has to like figure out the Woompa fruits that are spread in that section of the track, I believe. Or I could also load the pinstripe challenge and check. That Woompa is not here either. But yeah, I will load the pinstripe challenge and check. Right quick. Oh, I'm playing so bad today. Oh well, never mind. Super shortcuts. Again. There's the 2 Woompa fruits on the track. Also, another difference, now that I think of it, is that when characters jump from big heights, they don't do anything, they don't play any sound, while instead in the final version they have some catchphrases, I believe. I don't know how to call them.
Take that.
Another Woompa fruit on that section. It's actually all throughout the spiral turn, I believe. Yeah, they're all spread in that section of the track. Well, yeah, let's go and check it out. I believe there is a difference in some arenas too. Let me check quickly. Oh, I don't have a cycle controller. I cannot. Okay. Yeah, also of course all the times are different, also in time trial, as you can see. They're all 9:59, which I believe they are like that also in the final version of the NTSC region. And I believe also the text is different, but I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure about that. I wanna see if well, yeah, the video or the preview about the track is actually from this version with the missing box. Okay, let's check Hot Air Skyway at this point to see if we can see the Woompa position. Yeah. 5, 6, around 6 Woompa fruits spread on that point of the track. 3 are there. 2 are there, if I have seen correctly. And yeah, nothing else on that track. Then I believe nothing much on other tracks as well. not that I noticed, you know. So yeah, I would beat all entropy ghosts, but the thing is, as I was saying at the beginning, that if this game is very not stable as regards the save data, so it will get to a point eventually that it will not read your save data anymore. And consequently it will just say something like obsolete data or no memory card found in slot 1 for some reason. Let's see if the icon changed. Oh, there is the different icon. Yellow yellow icon with a punch on it. Quite weird. Quite weird, really. But yeah, I believe it's all. Oh yeah, and also you cannot skip dialogues like from Aku masks in this version. So you can just stay there and listen to their tips for quite a lot of time, I would say. Let me see if you can like... Oh, you see, there's no memory card in memory card slot 1. It randomly does like this, even if the memory card is right there. I didn't change anything. Or rather, probably this icon means that data are corrupted. I don't know. Either way, I would say if you play it, just back up your data as more as you can, because they can just become corrupted like this, and you won't be able to progress on your save data anymore, especially if you save on adventure mode after triggering 100%. And yeah, 100% is the highest percent here. I think I said that because you don't get a second quote-unquote prize when you defeat Oxide, but you just remain with the key that you earned the first time you beat him. And even if he has a key in the... Well, you can soft lock, nice. Even if you have a key in the pause menu, even if it says that he has a key, you will still see 4 keys in your well, in your screen. I will show you what I mean right now. Alright, this is the last reset here, so that we go and have a look at the 100% credits, because there is an extended ending here, which also talks about Penta Penguin and Fake Crash. You can find the text of it on Crash Mania if you want. Like, if you don't wanna watch again an Oxide challenge and all that stuff. Instead, if you wanna keep on watching this, I believe 5 more minutes remaining, you can just you know, watch me doing the challenge again and then watch the final credits. Oh yeah, I had to stop for a bit because I noticed the recording randomly stopped, so I needed to make sure. It was on again. Okay. So let's go and do another challenge to Oxide, and I will actually be behind him, checking if he is also invincible to other weapons in lap 1. I guess my cable is a bit old now, so it has issues with the audio. And I'm sorry for that, but this is the only way I can record this beta right now. I could also record it from PC, but I mean, my save data there is obsolete. So let's see. Yeah, he is not. You cannot like hurt him even on lap 1 by the look of that rocket. He didn't stop on the minimap, so yeah, he is actually invincible. Another difference that I didn't mention is different sound when you hit 10 Wumpa Fruits, and a small difference in the lap counter. It has a dash instead of a... how you call it? I call it slash. Yeah, let's actually do this, because I want to make you hear the sound that it does when you hit 10 Wumpa Fruits. There it is. Not a big difference, but still, it's a difference. Okay, so let's take the long way, because we need to wait for Oxide and actually see how he goes through his own obstacles. It's really fun in my opinion. He just goes there and, oh look, you cannot hit me. But yeah, it's not like you can do much in the final version. I mean, he just spins in the final version, and that's it. You cannot do anything special. And there he is, he's right behind me. Oh, this time he just avoids them. Okay, he hit one of the bottles only, but he didn't slow down one bit. Yeah, of course, the position where he throws the bottles is random. Also, the items won't disappear from the track because, yeah, it's either a problem in programming the items and the behavior of Oxide, or the fact that there can only be a limited amount of items spread on the track, probably, so that it doesn't overload the PS1 RAM. I mean, that's what I believe at least. You wanna check if he hits him now, but I don't believe it's gonna happen. I don't believe it's gonna happen. Yeah, he just follows his main pattern, so let's go and watch the final epilogue, I guess. Apart from the noise in the background. You know, like press start at this point? Yeah, you can. But we don't want to go back to the map. We want to watch the final cutscene. Let's do it.
You beat me once again. Now I have to go back to the planet Gasmoxia a complete loser. I must be getting slow in my old age. That's it. I'm finished racing in these mushy backward worlds. Keep your miserable planet. I'm out of here for good.
Yep, this cutscene misses all of the effects, except for the Oxide dialogue, and also characters won't dance, apparently, on the epilogue screen. They will just be there, stuck in their, like, first animation frame. Sadly, this way. I don't know if there are differences in the text at the end. So again, that's another mission that I give you to check. Oh, that's a creepy tiny there. It's a really creepy tiny there. Coco's not impressed. Also, the Rocky Road music is missing, which is sad, because that's like my favorite track of the game. I don't know if in the normal ending there is this issue with dancing animations. I would assume there isn't. Oh yeah, the fucked up polar eyes still there. He's like on drugs. Yeah, they get just stuck like that. I wonder why. Oh, that face for pinstripe. It's hilarious. Great. Wait. And there's Papu, like feeling a bit the Viper Randy Orton there. Squash the Reaper. Crazy is as crazy does. I agree on that. Very bored Kimodo, I would say. Entropy being entropy. And there it is. Penta Penguin became a news weatherman for one of the big three. Is that sporting a groomed look at the great screen presence? Well, I'm slow. I'm sorry. I'm slow at reading the text. Submitting to a DNA test on the Jimmy Spangler show, the test results were destroyed. Oh well. Yeah, again, I'm slow at reading English, or the text is faster. We will never know who's responsible for this. Then yeah, Oxide epilogue. Then the Umbrella Girls epilogue, which is quick, but also I believe it's also quick on the final version, because they have a small animation there. They just say hello and show their umbrella. And let's see, I remember the game's like locks when you finish the... Okay, I believe it tries to load the scrapbook, but it fails and instead it brings you here. The soft talk instead happens when you skip the credits. If I remember correctly. But yeah, that's it for now. Again, let me know if you noticed any other thing in the comments, and I will be happy to add your information in the video by, of course, giving you credit for it. And I again remind you that additional information is available at Crashmania page, which is linked in the description. Okay, so right here saying you well, I guess see you next time, and I hope you had fun watching this video. Right.